TBN. We're live this morning, and if anybody wants to call in for prayer, please call the numbers below. And I'm here with some friends whose gods were their bellies, whose minds were set on earthly things, and we decided we didn't want to live that way as Christians anymore. So we repented, we confessed, we talked about the enemies of our souls to each other.
Decided to help each other too, I think.
Yes.
I was thinking when Linda was saying how she used to clean so compulsively, and Ceci too, and for a long time I was the opposite. I was just unclean and overrun, and I dealt with my fear and my performance by just not leaving the house. I was agoraphobic for several years, and it was just because I was so overcome with my own sin. I knew I wasn't doing what's right. I wasn't living my children right. I was just so selfish and living for myself, and it was all about me. And I think that we all know in our heart when we're in that and how wrong it is, and how can we have confidence in ourselves or with the Lord if that's our mindset. You know, I have to judge it still all the time. I mean, it's a being saved kind of a thing. It's not a something that, you know, I think especially living in the world today and the whole mindset of the world, and even the church. You know, when I first started going to church, it was still all about me. It was what Jesus could do for me. I never heard anything about laying down my life losing my life to find it. You know, really, Jesus was a credit card, right? How could, and it was all carnality. How could Jesus fulfill really the lust of my flesh? It was still fulfilling my own carnal desires. I really never heard much about holiness or, you know, but really that is the only thing that's ever brought me peace. And I was thinking about how I had no peace at this time in my life. I would leave the house and I would break out in a cold sweat. I would have anxiety attacks. You know, I was so tormented constantly by thoughts of death and dying, and I had no hope for the future. And it has only been by having friends, well, meeting people who had been willing to count the cost and had a true Christianity. I mean, I thought I was doing great with the Lord till I met all of you, and I realized that I wasn't willing to give up anything for the Lord.
I had a lot of fear too, and I don't know what you called it, whatever disease the world names it.
Oh, agoraphobia,
but
when you can't
that's
leave
one
the
thing
house.
I realized is that I wasn't free to love.
Yes.
I knew I was in bondage because I didn't have liberty in my love.
Yes.
And you know, it is as simple as praying, asking the Lord for a piece of bread. Is he going to give us a stone? If we ask him to give us love, he gives us flesh for our stone, our stone of heart, Jeremiah talks about. And I had to be willing to look at the rocks. You know, what is the rock in there? I mean, I think it'd be great for you guys to share a little. I don't know if you can show that we brought these before and after pictures, but these women are just about half the women they used to be.